Hey everyone, welcome back to more Lost Odyssey, where last time we beat the game. Directly ahead of us is our final battle, but directly above us, the shining white light, is some DLC that we have not touched. The DLC, the Dungeon Pack Secret of the Deep, is $1. So you might as well pick it up. It's an extra dungeon that you can do starting once you get the white boa and you can crack through ice and get over there. About level 60 is the recommended level for this place. I didn't really bother because it's like you get a lot of stuff there that will just outright break the game. It's kind of ridiculous. It's actually a lot of the stuff there's kind of amazing. You get like 5, 6 new accessories that you get extra abilities that aren't in the main game. It's really fun. So before I actually go in, I like to state that I actually leveled up to level 99 with the main cast I'm going to be using in this dungeon. You came to see this place as well? Thought I was the only one crazy enough to come all the way here. I earned my living from making maps, you know. I heard of an underground research lab hidden around here. I figured it was my duty to come here as soon as I could. I tried going down there earlier, but man, you wouldn't believe all the ferocious looking monsters and weird machines they have down there. Finally managed to find a lift back up after a while, and that's how I'm standing here now. I've been a goner otherwise. You guys look like you could take care of yourselves better than I can. How about it? You interested in lending me a bit of help? I won't expect it to be done for free, mind you. Just tell me about what you see in your explorations. In exchange, I'll give you some of my treasure. I'll be hanging around here for a while, so please check it out for me down there. I'm depending on you. So yes, he is a cartographer, and he will map out this place. It's pretty much the easiest place to map out ever because each floor is pretty much, hey, it's a square loop. It's this big spiral down. It goes down, down, down to the bottom of the sea, almost literally at this point. But this is the experimental staff remains. And there's a story behind this place, a story we will learn by actually clicking on these. Development Chief Log 1. Project Terminus has been given the green light. Our glorious plan has finally been recognized. Spirits are at all-time high, but we have a long road ahead. So do I. Our first step shall be the creation of a simple prototype. That will become the foundation of the control system. A certain Professor K will be leading the project, starting with the underground expansion of the facility. Haven't met them personally, but he is said to be extremely talented. Apparently this construction will allow us to take better advantage of the magic energy floating in the area. In addition, the elevators and floor gates have been rearranged as a measure to secure our intellectual assets. You can only move up from certain floors now, which is a tad annoying, but I suppose there's no way around it. Yeah, so every 5 floors we go down this place, we'll be able to go back up in the elevator and we'll get rewarded for doing so. It's not very big. There's about 26 floors. Obviously, the 26th floor will be a boss. The 25th floor is the last quote-unquote floor. But each area has some chests in it and some logs. And, yeah, I forgot. Oops. I knew what that was. I knew it was a healing tank, and I'm like, wait a minute. I can't do anything with that. So what I'm actually going to do really quick is I'm going to, let's see, where are you? HP max up 4. Let me remove that and put it back on. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is, how many do I got? I have 99. So even if I pick up 1, okay, never mind. Oh well, that's fine. None of these chests actually really matter towards the treasure trove achievement if you already have it. And even then, it still wouldn't matter regardless. There are a couple chests on each floor. In this case, I believe there's 2. So it's not terrible, but this place, like when you first start, the monsters here aren't really that bad. They get stronger and stronger the further down you go. That's pretty much how this dungeon's gonna work. I'll pick up that healing tank one at some point. 3 mana bottles. As you can tell, it doesn't have the shwing noise when you pick it up. That kind of just signifies that, hey, they really don't matter for the treasure trove. Security guard log. I was wondering why they were bringing all this heavy equipment in, but it turns out they built a research lab on the ground. A bunch of technicians were transferred down there earlier, working right near all kinds of crazy monsters. That's one heck of a demotion. Oops, I probably shouldn't be writing this thing into a security log. Folks aren't allowed underground. It's too dangerous, they say. That's why there aren't any security measures taken, but they said it'd be too dangerous even for rush security guards. What the heck are they doing down there? Went down there today after being asked to help with their research. What transpired was simply horrible. That's the last time I believe anything those technicians say. Hope they don't ask for me again. I hate being in security grunt sometimes. Yeah, that's kind of your problem. But the first floor, really simple. There's no monsters on the first floor that you really have to worry about, so you can just kind of head on down. Now that we have a little bit of noise, there's definitely gonna be some monsters around here. But we have more of these things to read. Development Chief Log 2. Professor K conducted a test of the prototype's interceptor skills inside the facility. A random security guard was ordered to try infiltrating its zone of activity. The experiment fulfilled our expectations completely. The paramedics took the guard back up to the surface, and after that we all toasted to our success. So somebody nearly died, and they're like, yeah! That's, All right, well, let's continue on. Let's go over here. Gotta check out every little nook and cranny. See, there's a chest here and there, but there's usually only like 1 or 2 each floor, so you don't have to worry about it too much.
I'm always ready.
And they're generally in the same areas, either in the corners or in the middle. They're really not hard to miss. All right, so these stupid things is our first encounter. These dark mutations, they just have extra stuff on here, and the toxic wasters just have more stuff to deal with. Honestly, it's they're not really worth it to fight. I'm not going to lie. So these ones, they're not even really great for the SP either. So what I'm going to do for a lot of these battles is probably just use Turntail and defend, just so I don't have to worry about it too much, and just make sure that I can just get out of here with whoever. But if you wanted to fight them, the only real thing you got to worry about is the dark mutations. They're just immune to physical attacks, so just use magic. But in this case, again, I'm just getting out of here. Either way, I wouldn't even bother with that counter regardless. If you see that one, just don't bother. None of the ones in the early floors really matter too much. Here we go, that's another item. We got a slot seed. Yeah, we're gonna be finding some slot seeds here. We're gonna be finding a good amount. But we're also gonna be finding a lot of items that are annoying to get. I'm talking, it could be 5 minutes to 5 hours, it's ridiculous. Researcher log. Due to the new confidentiality rules, from now on, researchers have to go back to the surface using lifts on every 5th floor. It's all good for security, I suppose. I hardly have the time to go up anyway with all the work on my plate, so it's not something I'm concerned about. Yeah, every 5 floors we can go up and get rewarded for it from the cartographer. All right, moving on. We're gonna go down just a little bit further. To the next floor, to be, or not to be. Somebody's gotta make that joke. Development Chief Log 3. Along with the prototype, we've been conducting research on an autonomous guard bot device. We already got a test model roaming the floor collecting data. I have a feeling this will be as monumental a breakthrough as the prototype project once it's complete. Yeah, so pretty much we're going to be finding a thing called prototype, and we're going to be finding a guard bot to go along with it. Prototype 1 is what it's called, and it's not really too worth it to fight, but it is another thing that you can fight if you want to. Go around, check this area, because we got a chest right over here. Five magic staff fragments. More ring components that we don't really necessarily care too much for. All right, continuing on, we have another little thingy right here. Junior Researcher Log number 1. The underground expansion effort is pretty immense, it seems. I hear they just keep adding floor after floor downward. I couldn't even guess how deep it'll go in the end. Just goes to show the enormous scope of this project. Yeah, they're basically saying this place goes on and on and on. But there we go, down to the next floor. Honestly, when it comes to actually training in this place, I would probably go to a floor where you're near one of the like 5, 10, 15 kind of deals, so you can actually go back up immediately if you have any problems. Magic Observer Log number 1. There's an abundance of magic energy in the area. It makes complete sense given how the experimental staff was designed to amplify the natural source of magic energy it's built around. I can't help but wonder though, where all this energy is coming from. I don't know, I guess we'll find out if we keep finding those logs. But we have another thing right over here. And this gives us our first ring, Ruin's Life. And this is why I mentioned these things are broken. Like everything that you find in this dungeon is kind of broken. So the side right ring, right, is damage up level 3, critical up level 3 times GC damage. Ruin's Life, win level 3 plus, hardened killer level 3 plus, and 8 times GC damage plus. We're gonna be finding enemies that kind of have the harden and win thing here, so that's kind of good for that if you find those particular enemies you want to get rid of them. We're gonna be finding rings of all sorts of varieties here, and it's kind of amazing, honestly. So let's see here, we can continue on this way over here. We got a chest over there, I'm actually gonna go grab that. See, you just kind of spot things, you're like, oh, another one. There are more encounters than that one encounter. I'm kind of surprised I've been getting nothing but that one encounter so far. Like, I know there's more enemies in this place. That's just kind of ridiculous. There you go, and 3 magic storing stones. So that's all the items on this floor, but there is another thing over in this direction. All right, moving on. go over this way and we can read another one of these things. I get stuck on like every table. Researcher log. We found a massive amount of resources into the prototype, but Professor K is asking for more in order to beef up our security. Amazed how he's able to extract money from those tightwads in the boardroom. K's a talented one, no doubt about that. So we've been learning about this Professor K, this person that's like mysterious and no one really knows what he looks like, but he is getting a lot of money to build this giant research division, so that's something. Problem is that we haven't seen anybody here, so we know that some things happened. Development Chief Log 4. We received an order from Professor K. Prototype 1's research phase is nearing completion. It still doesn't have all its required functionality, but its dormant potential is unimaginable. We got a bright future ahead of us. Now what does this one say? Junior Researcher Log 2. Everyone's buzzing away at the research. Professor K, the research group leader, always works in the lowermost facility. It's a little disappointing how we knew enlistees will probably never even get a chance to see him. Yeah, exactly. No one really knows what he looks like. So he's just a professor that just exists. All right, anything over in this direction? Nope, not in this direction. All right, and now we hit this button. And we're gonna finally start seeing some new encounters when we get to this floor. Thankfully, we don't need to worry about this floor, like, for battles and such, so we're good here. But we have this. Professor K log number 1. Prototype research is proceeding smoothly. We've updated the basic skill set and independent behavioral ability of the prototype, calling the result Prototype 2. I have no doubt about the glorious future of this project. This is truly the model that will prove to be the world's most greatest weapon. Yep, so we're gonna start seeing Prototype number 2. We never even seen Prototype number 1, but that's just because my random encounters was the same dang battle over and over and over again. So yeah, that happened. Yeah, we got a little bit of a chest over here, which has a slot C. We're gonna be, again, finding a lot of them, which is nice. But if we wanna get out of here, we can take this elevator up and we can get rewarded for doing so. Because we hit like a point in it. Not a point of no return, but basically, what's the word I'm looking for? A checkpoint, there we go. Kinda like a checkpoint. Professor K log number 2. Our laboratory has been expanded underground. Working down below puts us closer to the source of the magic energy. So I'll be sending my main research team there shortly. Yep. So if we take the elevator, we have to actually work our way back down. It's a little bit of a hassle. But for actually going up on this floor, we get 3 ambrosias, which is nice, but don't really need them right now. All right, floor 6B. We're actually going to start seeing some new monsters finally, so that's good. But first, got one of these. Development Chief Log number 5. Prototype number 2 is now live on the floor. We made several major upgrades to its defensive and defensive capabilities. Doesn't look like the greatest weapon from its appearance, but it won't be long before it strikes terror in the hearts of people all across the world. Can we actually battle Prototype number 2? Let's find out. Perfect! We got it! First try, Prototype number 2. So, this thing doesn't really have anything special, it's just kinda, oh hey, we get stuff. So, if you have the killer machine, I recommend equipping it here because it's really useful. If you don't, anything that has machine killer will work just fine. But yeah, we're just gonna go in and whack this thing, will do a ton of damage. And in the case of doing more damage, this is fine for now. We don't really need to worry about that too much. So we're good there, just do that. And if we want, we can use some power-ups, maybe just do like a little bit of, oh hey, I'm gonna go double cast on that, although it probably won't matter, so I'm just gonna hit next. And then you just defend, and you, on the other hand, are gonna attack the guard bot too. There we go. Knock that one down, which is just gonna kinda come up and whack us. Nothing really too special there. Bam, and it's down. And now we get the power wrist, which would have been nice about 2 seconds ago. Which is fine, because all we're really gonna be doing at this point is just hitting the attack button.
That was close.
So we got into that encounter at least. Again, 10 SP, it's slightly useful. Nothing too great though, unfortunately. We're not far enough along for it to be great. I always think I have to go up here. I always think I have to go up there. I'm looking at the map, I'm like, do I go up? All right, we got this, and there's a chest right down there. Development Chief Log 6. Guardbot development is sailing right along. We added a shuffle feature to scramble enemy formations as part of its support duties when deployed alongside Prototype 2. That'll give it the advantage against a large group of opponents. Working on our blind spots like this really gives me the impression that we're nearing perfection here. Yeah, Guardbot can actually cast Shuffle, which will screw up our formation. And then Prototype 2 actually use a Bind move, which we didn't see it do because we killed it too fast, which will just make it so we can't shuffle our stuff. So if we have Freeform, it's not really gonna be too helpful there. And then you just have to go out of battle and just fix your stuff. It's really not too bad. Those enemies aren't great at all. Just machine killer them and you're done. So now we have floor 7B to worry about. Floor 7B has our first new ring, or our second new ring, I should say, our first new ring of this section. And this one has the tidal wave. That one, probably pretty easy to guess what it does. The tidal wave, water level 3 plus, beast killer level 3 plus. So we're gonna start seeing some beast stuff as well, and then the 8 times GC damage. Of course, my encounter rate has been, I'm gonna encounter this one thing over and over and over again, or I get a prototype number 2. Magic Researcher Log 1. I'm conducting research into land abilities of the monsters. My focus recently has been on the counterattack performance. I've collected monsters from around the world for this purpose. Lately, I've been able to exploit the countersteal skill to limit enemy movement, but applying it to the weapon has proven to be too difficult. I'm afraid I'll need to give up this angle. So yes, they're talking about countersteal, a move that said knows automatically, so it'd actually be good to teach to somebody that could use it. In this case, I'm gonna put it on Kime if I could find something I could get rid of. In this case, why not, yeah, I don't really have any special accessories, so let's put on Counter Seal, just so I have that as well. Counter Seal, Counter Seal, Counter Seal, where are you? There you are. There you go. So we got that active, just in case we wind up actually encountering those things. It would be nice to actually use. Nothing over here, just making sure. Going around. And now if we're over here, we have another one of these things. We're gonna be reading a lot of these. Junior Researcher Log 3. Professor K is a genius. No normal man could ever hope to achieve what he has. Some of my co-workers have grown jealous enough to publicly disavow his leadership. Genius is often misunderstood, but K is always viewed as critics with an experienced but detached eye. It's classy of him, and it's earned our respect. Always liking someone that you haven't really ever met or seen. Yeah, that could only lead to problems. I mean, it depends. It really does, but in this situation, as you can tell, there's clearly no one here, so we kind of have an idea what happened. Development Chief Log 7. I think the security guards are fearful of us. Lately, they won't come down here even if we order them to join our experiments. Seeing all these incompetent buffoons refusing to aid our research is frankly disappointing. Not as disappointing as his chest. Yep. Disappointment abound. Gotta go around over here. And around again. Down. To another log. Research Manager Log. I can't believe how sloppy the researchers are with the resource management. I keep telling them to stop placing valuable research items into any random box they find. Don't they ever think about the person that has to go around and find that stuff afterward? Yeah, me. I've been finding all of them so far. Haven't been able to open up one chest, but yeah, that pretty much just explains why there's chests in this place. I mean, you could easily just say there's storage boxes for people's lunches and stuff, but maybe eventually I'll get into a battle with something that's not the same thing over and over and over again. I do want to show these battles off, but if that keeps happening, it's gonna be a little annoying. Technical Researcher Log 1. Professor K has a cult of unwavering admirers around him. Though he's undoubtedly a talented man, K often gets so wrapped up in research that he spouts off the craziest things at times. If he keeps giving me these unreasonable demands, I just don't know if I can keep going on. Yep, so now we're learning that he's a little bit unreasonable. That's what happens when you have a person that you never met. You just don't know what they're gonna do. Oh, there it is. Researcher Log. It was utter chaos. The research monsters have escaped. Our group was pretty far from the affected areas. With all the cries and screams the monsters are making, we couldn't concentrate on our experiments. Prototype 2 and one of the guard bots managed to fend them off. I really hope we don't have to go through this again. Yeah. I really hope I can get into an encounter that isn't the same thing over and over and over again, because this is floor 9 now, which means that the next floor I'm going to be shuffling to another set of enemies. So in that case, let's see if I can actually get something, maybe really quick before I hit floor 10. Oh wow, okay, cool.
I'm always ready.
All right, actually this works out in my favor because these are the other two enemies on this floor. So, this thing, we're going to be using counter steal again because we need to do that. But this thing in the back here, which is under the GC, has fire element and magic. It's high evasion, so you have to hit it with water stuff, so you need the water ring. But in this case, you would kind of want the tidal wave so you can actually hit the thing. But it has high evasion, so that's a little bit of an issue there. So that's pretty much how you get rid of that. Magic, it just kind of evades the magic, so yeah, don't even really bother with that. So in this case, we're going to defend with you because we can't really do much at the moment because it's behind a wall. And then same with you, and then we're going to use counter steal again. There we go. And that should help me take care of the two in the front. You in the back, on the other hand, yeah, that's just not gonna work for you because everybody has, yeah. We've been through that song and dance already. We don't need to worry about it anymore. All right, so moving on, let's kill this thing here. We're going to defend again. We're gonna, actually wait. I think you might, whatever, just attack. It doesn't really matter. You defend, and then you attack this one. Just like, okay, I guess you're going first. That's fine, you're gonna do some damage. Yeah, that's something, at least. Ow. All right, let's get rid of these things now. Because they can't counter me, I have a chance of actually hitting them better. There we go, like that. Now for you. And I really doubt that's going to do any damage to me, but it's something. Let's see, is it gonna absorb or hit? Oh, nope, everybody just got healed, that's fine. So, now that we're pretty much down to nothing with you, we can just attack with everybody at this point, so let's just do that, aside from you two, and then you attack that one, why not? There we go, that one's down. And now for this one, I'll just kind of get a bad. There we go. It doesn't matter, it's gonna die. But that's how you take down those ones.
Wasn't even near my level.
All right, and now let's head down further. We hit Conference Area 10B. If we were to take the elevator up from here, we will get 5 godly dragon tears. But we're not doing that. Sarbala Fang. Sarbala Fang. The Sarbala Fang, I keep saying that wrong, it's Sarbella Fang, there we go. Actually gives us counter 2. Yeah, that's really nice to have, so let's just kind of pop that on right there. We're actually getting new stuff. Those don't count for the Skill Master achievement, so it doesn't really matter if you get stuff here as well. Just as long as you learn all the base game skills, you're fine. Professor K Log 3. Prototype research is proceeding smoothly. We're just about to wrap up the experimentation on the current model, and we'll be using the data for the next model we create. We got the resources we need, and morale is high throughout the group. We have a long road ahead, but I can already see the glorious sight of the final model within my mind. So they're basically just constantly building better and better models until they actually make something that works. I mean, that's kind of a nice idea, but there's no one here, so there's clearly a story of what happened. And we get a slot seed. There we go. And now for this one. Professor K Log 4. We confirm the presence of more magic energy underground. What could be releasing this power? I have my concerns about this, but our research demands all the energy we can get. We're running short on space, so we'll be expanding further on the ground shortly. This should provide a great boost to the progress of our research. That it shall. Because, now that we're good here, we hit floor 11. And floor 11 is where things start getting a little bit different. I say a little bit different, but we're actually encountering more of the same stuff. We'll find out more about that once we actually read these things over here. So let's click on one of these. Development Chief Log 8. Prototype 3 is live on the floor. It's small, but it's astounding to see it in action. Even its basic skill set demonstrates a vast improvement over its predecessor. The new exploding projectile, a highly concentrated magical particle beam, has proven to be a formidable threat to all. It has new stuff, but if you're able to take out Prototype 2 and Prototype 1 using machine killer stuff, you're fine. So it's gonna be more of the same, honestly. It's really not that big of a deal. Speaking of, Prototype 3 is actually kind of a rarer encounter in this area, but you do definitely want to find it. Development Chief Log 9. The Guardbot model has just undergone its second update. Professor K handled this one by himself, equipping it with a special sound wave emitter that capitalizes on the enemy's more developed abilities. How on earth he managed to invent this, I do not know. His innovation and skill never cease to amaze me. They're basically saying it has a move that could reverse all your party's upgrades if you were to get hit by it. Not that that's really that big of a deal, but it's there. So the prototype 3, you actually encounter it on floors 11 through 14. So you kind of need to fight it within those floors, and you definitely do want to find it. Problem is, it's rare. So there's that. Another slot seed. And then another one of these. Magic Researcher log number 2. Some monsters have special attack skills that render their opponent near death in one shot. I quickly gathered a large selection of these monsters for my research. Kay's breathing down our necks after that monster escape. I'll need to be careful. They're basically talking about skills that bring down your health to yellow levels in one hit, like the near death effect. There's monsters like that down here that will do that to you, but it's still not too much of a hassle. Just have persistence and you'll be okay if you get hit like with other moves.
Let's take him down.
Yeah, these are the things. These things do the near death thing where they use their squash abilities just like ow. But they are organic earth, so you kind of know what you need to do to get rid of them. In this case, they are not very strong. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to use ultimate hit. Aside from just using their weakness to kill them, just do that. But in this case, I just want to ultimate hit them. I really just want to go like, bam, you're dead. So in this case, I'm going to do a little bit of faster on you. There we go. And then you are going to be using Power Wrist, just so it does a little bit more strength. That's pretty much what I did when I grinded. I just fought the Hellish Kellelons over and over and over again, and that's pretty much all I did was just ultimate hit, Power Wrist faster, just again and again and again. That's why I'm on memory now, so my skills just kind of stay where they are, because I did the same thing over and over and over again. If not, I hit Turntail. Pretty much all I did. So in this case, you're going to defend, and you are just going to get like a little bit of a pot shot in, because why not? Boop.
Here.
So Power Wrist, so it does a little bit more, and faster will bring it so it'll go off next turn instead of 2 turns from now. You got a poison effect to worry about, but not really. So it's kind of get hit by it. All right, now that that's gone off, we'll just do that. And just in case I don't actually like kill them with my attacks, I'm just gonna kind of do this so I can get a little bit more damage off, just in case. More than likely though, I'll be fine, but more damage is more damage, so why not?
Here goes.
Yeah, they're dead. That's pretty much all I had to do with that. Moving along, can I read this? There we go. Technical Researcher Log 2. 2 of my coworkers jumped to another team today. Something about developing external parts for a next generation prototype. What a headache. We're already late enough as it is here. Don't we have more important things to develop than the appearance? Yeah, they keep wanting to upgrade the same thing over and over and over again. So, yeah. Next floor, please. 13B.
Not too smart, eh?
Another set of enemies. These ones aren't really too bad. They're just beasts and earth, so all we really gotta do for these is just make sure you have the beast killer ring on if you want. There it is. Oh, that's not it. Someone else has it. I equipped it on somebody, I'm not sure. Either way, I'm just gonna attack. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do ultimate hit again. Just get rid of them the usual way. And I'll do 2 ultimate hits just in case, why not? And in this case, we're going to do all Power Wrist, and then next, and then you are going to go in and just kind of do a faster. I'm on composite. There we go. Faster, time, double cast, spirit. Faster, Zeph, and then attack. There we go, you're delayed. I love actually watching the faster effect go off when you double cast because it shows it go off. Like it minuses the 1 but it only shows one of the characters move, and then it does the rest of the effect later. It's weird. Ow.
Here.
That's fine. That brought me down to that yellow status that they were talking about. But it's really not helpful because if they hit me with it again, it's just gonna do nothing because I'm already at the yellow status, so whatever. And in the meantime, we're going to just kind of whack you. There we go. Ow, you did 1 damage to me. Ooh, critical hit, nice.
You're going down.
It's either do this or just do a couple attacks and get rid of them, and honestly, this is more flashy.
It's not in my nature to lose.
There we go. And the nice thing about that, getting hit so much, is now I can actually use some of those healing tanks. Now I can pick up that chest up top there. Let me just do this. Definitely can pick it up now. So let's actually read this one. I keep thinking it's in the upper corner there. Research Director Log 1. A new researcher joined us from the top level of the experimental staff. He assisted the resource management team in the oceanic zone before this, which means he was pretty much an intern. We need to shape him up fast if he's going to be any use around here. So yeah, they're talking about that oceanic area with the experimental staff. Pretty much calling him interns, like, this area is better. I mean, given how much better it looks in general in terms of design, it's not like weird and magic-y everywhere. I mean, every now and then you might see some like magic sparkles, but yeah, this area is much cleaner looking. Then again, there's no people in it, so that's why. Technical Researcher Log 3. Everything's just been pissing me off lately. My progress reports get thrown back in my face. Professor K demands just get more and more unreasonable. I have no idea what I should do. Yeah, now they're starting to get fed up with him. All right, and down we go. To another floor, 14B. 14B is pretty much the last floor you can encounter Prototype 3 on, so I'm gonna see if I can actually encounter the dang thing. Research Director Log 2. The new guy's worthless as a researcher. That was immediate. But at least he had some interesting new rumors for us. He said that the Grand Staff hit a snag or two during development. They had more than enough magic energy, but controlling it has proven to be a difficult task. So yeah, something went on over there that kind of just said, hey, something's messing up and they need to find out what's going on. So we're getting a little bit of backstory with how everything was set up in the beginning of the game. This chest here has the Hellish Dream. The Hellish Dream is another ring that we're actually going to be using. We're not really using. It gives us all the great effects that, oh, hey, you're going to hit and hit with really good stuff. You're just like, bam, and it's like, yeah. It's going to just make things a little bit easier if you want to do sass effects. I'm not really a sass effect person, so I kind of just equip those rings on somebody.
Take the initiative, I always say.
There we go, prototype number 3. Prototype 3 has the Illusionist Gauntlet. Problem is with this thing is a rare encounter, and that is a rare drop. So, yeah. You remember how I said it could be 5 minutes to 5 hours to get certain things? This is one of them. This is one of the 4. Although this is the hardest one of the 4 to get, so there's that. But past that, it's really not that useful. It's just, this one is spell counter 2. So, yeah, I never really used spell counter. But for these things, you actually want to make sure to not have rings on that steal, because you're going to wind up accidentally stealing something and then you're not going to get a drop. So you kind of want to make sure to be just hitting these things out right. You do combo, attack it, whatever you need to do. In this case, I want to use Powers again, just kind of buff them up. Next, and in the case of you, you're just going to do nothing. In the case of you, I'm going to make sure that you have, yeah, you're fine. You're just going to go in there and attack this thing in the back. Don't quote me on this, but I feel like the more you perfects you get in a battle, the higher chance you have of getting an item. I don't really know if that's the case, but honestly, I've always noticed that to be the case, so I have no idea. It's just, I guess it's like the press A to catch a Pokemon in a Pokemon game, for example, where you hold the A button down and it's like, come on, come on, come on, and it's like, click, you got it. It's one of those situations. But yeah, this thing is pretty much going down really quickly, so we're just gonna, I don't even care, just do all your stuff. I'm just gonna go in and attack. There we go. And now for you. Yeah, we don't need things getting reversed are upgrades. We don't need to get bind and shuffled around.
Near my
It's a little bit annoying, but yeah. Yeah, I didn't even get it. I don't mind because I actually have like a little bit of a small confession about this. I recorded this already. I actually recorded this already, but my footage got corrupted. So I have a save file where I have all 4 of the things already. So I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna get to the bottom, get all the stuff, and yeah, I'll just kind of switch over to that one because I'm not gonna sit here for hours trying to get them. But just know that I'm gonna tell you where these things are when you get them. So let's read this really quick. I received word from Professor K that research on the current prototypes is now terminated. They don't need any more data gathering runs for the guard bots either. Guess we're moving into the next stage soon. Yeah, they're basically saying this is the last floor that you will encounter them on. So if you want to find them, this is the last floor. The moment you head down, you will not see any more prototype 3s. You won't see anything else. So once you do that, they're gone. So we're gonna head down. So floor 15, if you were to head back up the elevator on this floor, you would get 5 slot seeds. Yeah, you'll be getting a lot of these things. Honestly, you have enough to get rid of all the slot plus 5s on everybody and keep the slot plus 10s, and you'll be set. So on floor 15, we're about more than halfway done with this place. There's 26 floors to go through, technically 25 because 26 is a boss battle. So next time on Azure Plays More Lost Odyssey, we're gonna tackle the rest of this place. I'll see you all then.